The question is that the House do now adjourn. I now give the call to the honourable member for Holt.
Thank you very much, Mr Deputy Speaker. I rise tonight to talk about a suburb in my electorate that many people unfairly label. A neighbouring suburb of Dandenong was recently labelled by Punch as one of the top 10 bogan places in Australia. Doveton unfortunately suffers from the same unfair description. Let me tell you about how one particular academic describes Doveton. Who knows where Doveton is and who cares? Is it an address to die for, like Potts Point or Peppermint Grove? You know it isn't. It's just another bogan suburb, out in the boondocks, whatever a boondock is. Out in the sticks, or is it sticks as in the river Styx? What does Doveton have to show us about those in the outer suburbs might live? Doveton is dark, damp and quiet one morning early in winter. The Minaret College school bus pulls out of the driveway at 7:10 a.m. Around the corner, a set of Venetian blinds have been pushed down diagonally by a terrier who sits on a chair beside the sill and barks enthusiastically at passers-by. Well, let me tell you about the Doveton I know. It's a suburb with character, a suburb with heart, and a suburb with a sense of community spirit. I know of the many warm and friendly community-minded people that make Doveton a treasure of a suburb. People like Les Boys, Jean Westerman and the late Heather Weston, whose contribution to Doveton I've raised in this place before. Let me talk about Les. Community involvement has always been a passion for Les, who holds a life membership of the Oak Avenue Community Hall. The Oak Avenue Community Hall has held neighbourhood meetings and barbecues over the years to bring together local neighbours. The 75-year-old is also a life member at Casey Radio and on the committee of the Moona Farm. Every Thursday, Les and other members of the Doveton Club make children's toys out of egg cartons and cardboard boxes. Mr Boys and his wife Helen have been living in the Oak Avenue home for 40 years. Les and his wife symbolise the Neighbour Day spirit, a tremendous amount of pride in their neighbourhood and a commitment to bringing people together to build a strong sense of community. And I know that Les is battling from illness, and I wish him here a speedy recovery. Jean Westerman, who's been involved in the community of Doveton for over 35 years, particularly in the local opportunity shop and at weekly luncheons at the Doveton Baptist Church. There is collectively a group called Salvo Access, volunteers who work at the Cranbourne Salvation Army opportunity shop and who dedicate and devote a great deal of time to helping needy families in the area. Heather Weston, a Dovetonite through and through, who sadly passed away in June of this year, but whose legacy acts as an inspiration as a battler who overcame the odds and whose work influenced countless individuals who crossed her path in the years with the Doveton Neighbourhood House. When Heather became involved with the Doveton Neighbourhood House, she was, in her words, illiterate, and by her own words, often felt that she was good at nothing. Not to be overcome by this, Heather quickly enrolled in basic English reading and writing courses at the Doveton Neighbourhood House, forming an affinity with the centre that would see her spend 15 years on its committee, holding the positions of Assistant to the Treasurer, Vice President, Secretary and President. In fact, Heather spent a total of 3 years as the Centre's President. These are significant achievements in themselves, but Heather's true achievement, and indeed where her passion lay, was in inspiring and driving others. She used her success against her plight to empower others in the community to emulate her achievements. Ruth Murray. One of the quintessential examples of Doveton community spirit is Ruth Murray. For over 10 years, Ruth and her daughter Jenny have run an annual Christmas barbecue for neighbours, local community members, family and old friends at their home in Power Road, Doveton. Over 150 people are invited to the local barbecue, which coincides with their amazing Christmas lights display. There's been the Doveton Renewal project that's been occurring, and after 8 productive and memorable years, the Doveton New Memory Neighbourhood Renewal project came to an end on the 30th of June this year. There are so many achievements, and I'm going to run out of time talking about them, and successes in which the Doveton New Memory community can be proud, including the formation of the Doveton New Memory Township Association, creating a community calendar filled with the new events including the annual Doveton Show, the Australia Day celebrations, the monthly open mic night, thankfully I didn't sing in that, the weekly fresh food market at Moona Farm, establishing the Doveton New Memory Resident of the Year Awards to recognise and celebrate the contributions of residents. Local parks, reserves, paths and facilities have been improved, including the development of the skate park and fitness stations at the Waratah South Reserve, Linden Place Playground, local pathway linkages, extension to the Doveton Library and the Rowan Park House redevelopment. Development of a community infrastructure plan to understand current and future community needs. More than 700 improvements to public housing properties. More than 600 residents have undertaken training or secured employment through supported programs. I've run out of time, but it just shows what a great place, unlike what that person wrote in that damn book.
And truly now expired.